All right, guys, we're gonna be reacting to some Team Cast reaction, right? To Tom declares Gulf of Mexico to be renamed Gulf of America, and you know how it is, man. These liberals are losing it, bro. Let's jump in.
In an epic speech, Donald Trump has announced we will change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and why not? We deserve it, right? After all, we've got, I think, more land surrounding the Gulf than Mexico does, and why shouldn't we rename it? This is MAGA energy 100%. It's one of those things
100%.
that's seemingly arbitrary and kind of dumb, but is epic at the exact same time. While that's currently going on, there's talks about annexing Canada, buying Greenland, and I am all for it. Except
Me
for the
too.
Canada
Let's
thing.
go,
Canada,
bro. Hey,
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, man. Me too. I'm ready for this stuff, man. I'm ready. I'm telling you, ready. It's time to become the best we can be, man. I don't understand why Canada and the United States are not together. I just don't get it. I always wonder why. Why? We almost have the same culture. We look the same almost. Not only that, we come from the same kind of heritage. We have some very similar mindset. The only thing is that I think the Canadians, they have a parliamentary kind of system. We have more like a three branches of government system, right? I mean, it's just, I know they do have three branches of government, but it's a little bit different, right? But that can be, amendment through legislative and constitutional amendments. Outside of that, Canadians, when they become successful, most of them, they just go down to the states, down to the 48s. I just don't get it. Man. Greenland, bro, Greenland, by the way, one of my dreams is to visit Greenland. If we're going to buy it, bro, this is perfect. This is perfect, man.
But see, the problem is, if we try to liberate all of the good Canadians, we're going to get too many of the bad Canadians. And you guys can keep your sovereignty. We don't want to have nothing to do with that. Maybe if Pierre Poilievre ends up winning, or gaining more political power there, that guy seems fantastic. I don't know a lot about Canada. But this is MAGA energy, and the corporate press is losing their minds. But this is hilarious. Who cares what we call it? The Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. It's silly. But it's MAGA energy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm actually more concerned about the offshore drilling bans from Joe Biden, the active sabotage of our country by the Biden administration, trying to burn it all down before Trump gets into office. These are petulant children who can't accept they lost. I read that it's the first time in 52 years that a Democrat did not challenge the results of Republican victory.
Huh? Isn't that funny?
That's true.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny, huh? Isn't that funny, guys? First time, huh? Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Wisconsin, I'm looking at you, Wisconsin. Pennsylvania, I'm looking at you. Arizona, I'm looking at you. Isn't that funny?
I do know that they basically cry every time a Republican wins, whatever. And now they're going, see? We honored the peaceful transition of power with Trump. And I'm like, yeah, dude, Biden is sabotaging this country on the way out. Trump's going to have, what they're trying to do is bog him down so that when he gets into office, half the time is going to be spent trying to fix the mistakes and the problems of the Biden administration. Well, here we go. From The Independent, Trump wants to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to something more American. Now, I wonder why
Gulf of Texas.
They don't just run the headline, because the Daily Beast did the same thing. Donald Trump promises to rename Gulf of Mexico in bonkers rant. The president-elect would rather see the body of water be named the Gulf of America, apparently. Let me just tell you. The liberals in this country, they are unified only by hating you. Who cares? It is funny and silly. I'll play the video for you, but why would they be mad about this? Mm-hmm. You're taking away a name from Mexico. So what? Jeez. Well, let me play the video for you, my friends. Before we do, head over to castbrew.com and buy Cast Brew coffee.
Ain't buying nothing, bro. Ain't buying nothing.
Up all over the place.
Ain't buying nothing.
And in the meantime, we have a digital space, the Discord server at timcast.com, where you can hang out with other people and share those ideas. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump floats.
Trump is not playing around, man.
He floats. He straight up says, let's do it. Here's the clip.
Mexico's really in trouble, a lot of trouble. very dangerous place. And we're going to be announcing at a future date pretty soon. We're going to change, because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden.
Let's go.
He's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too. And the drugs that are coming through are...
Yep.
Trump won that. Trump want to control the entire border, man, of the North America, man. He's not playing. Trump is not playing. Bro, with that, think about all the energy that he spent. All the energy that he spent. Right? All the bullets, all that stuff. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. He's just bold right now, man. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. He wants to leave a legacy for the United States. It's crazy stuff, man.
Numbers.
I love this. The Gulf of America. Sorry, the Daily Beast calls it bonkers. Trump wants to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, he revealed in a bonkers news conference. The announcement comes amid a very public rift between the president-elect and Mexico's leadership. What are they mad about? It's all fake, ladies and gentlemen. It's just nonsense, all right? Here's the real news. Biden bans new oil and gas drilling off most U.S. coasts as Trump vows to unban it immediately. Why is he doing this? You know, Landman is a really great show. You ever see it? It's a new show. It's got Billy Bob, who is fantastic. I don't know. Is he a liberal guy? I don't know. But Taylor Sheridan's got a new show. He makes great shows, despite the weird, what do they call it, hick lib stuff that's in it. Landman's still a good show. And it's about a landman, a guy who basically runs oil operations in Texas. And they make some really important points about oil. They got this scene where all these executives are sitting in a room talking about green energy, and then John Hamm's character is like, the public's made up their mind, the news has made up their mind, they hate us, they're going to fight against us, and then they're going to beg us for oil every single day. We don't make oil, or he's like, we don't use the oil, we're drillers. We drill for oil. What people do with oil is their business. It's a really great show, and they make these points, okay? So many of these well-to-do liberals live at the epitome of luxury because of the oil that they get, and then they cry. We should have green energy. I love the scene in Landman where they see these wind turbines, and this female lawyer character is like, green energy, you know, is encroaching on oil. And he goes, no, oil companies use alternative energy to pump oil. And she's like, what? And then he basically explains that these wind turbines that you see out in the fields, they're there because there's no other way to get electricity to the pumps. They didn't set up wind turbines because they want green energy. They set up a means of generating energy so they can pump oil and get a better return on their energy investment. He then goes on to mention the amount of
crazy,
oil required to ship these things out, make the wind turbine.
Just imagine, man. These wind turbines are so heavy. You need some heavy machinery to just even drive them there. Like, the amount of oil that you even require to put these wind turbines, it's just too much, guys.
Lubricate the dang things. It's like 800 barrels of oil a year to lubricate a wind turbine. Nuts. But it allows the generation of energy in the middle of nowhere without the requirement for transmission lines.
Yeah.
He then mentions in the show, if they wanted to go all electric, you ain't going to do it for 30 years. We don't got the transmission lines. Look at what happened to California. California's like, we're going to go green. By 2030, no gas cars. Now they're having rolling brownouts because the grid can't handle it.
Wow.
By all means, build the infrastructure, but for the time being, y'all are begging for oil. So Joe Biden banning oil is going to do one thing. It's going to cause massive economic damage. I'll explain it again. I explained it before with Keystone, and I was talking. We had a contractor over here not a very political person, kind of liberal leaning, and was asking, like, how can Trump lower the prices? And I said, well, he's gonna deregulate the energy sector. So you get these liberals, and they're like, you can't bring the prices down. Trump can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you what Joe Biden did, how he put a knife in the back of the American people. He banned Keystone, okay? He banned fracking on public lands. And all the hippy-dippy environmentalists start screaming and cheering, like, woo, we did it. All right, let me tell you what this means. Markets are complicated, okay? Yeah. It is not so simple to say.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? And this is where a lot of millennials, we just got... Let me put it this way, guys. Millennial like me. I remember when I was in college and even when I was in school, the way they talk about these type of topic is so simplistic that you end up thinking like, oh, is that simple? We just need the green energy. And green energy is going to make everything better. Wee-hee. But in reality, it's not like that, guys. This is very complicated. We have to talk about the use of even technology to even make these things happen while using fossil fuel at the same time. I used to sell solar panels, guys, and I'm telling you, a lot of these companies, they're just taking advantage. They're just simply taking advantage. You're supposed to be paying for panels, and the panels are their systems, right? Most of them don't even work in 100% capacity. And why, if there is such a good, think about this, guys, if they are such a good product, why the federal government, the state government is always trying to give incentives to just take this kind of system? Don't you think if it's a good product, you would not need the government to be involved? Don't get me wrong. I'm the first one that's going to tell you, I just want to be off the grid. I'm sorry. I don't want to be part of any electric company. But bro, I will need a big system that's going to probably cost me a lot of money. Right? And I'm not gonna be the one saying that oil is bad. No, man, oil is basically what's run this world. So we need oil, and we need to pump more oil.
Approach is saying, I have me here some oil who'd like to buy it, and then everyone bids on it. Because there's futures, there's index trading. So what ends up happening? It's not even about futures, index, stock, whatever. Let's put it this way. You got an oil company that says, we've got 100 barrels of oil right now. Who wants some? Everybody bids, and the price sits around $80 a barrel, which seems to be a happy medium, right? And that way your gas is cheap, but there's a profit for the oil companies. They can fund more exploration and keep pumping that oil. Well, the people who are buying the oil say, I don't just need 1 barrel. I need 10 years. At a set price. Let's negotiate. Famously, back in the day, I used to work for American Airlines, and Southwest was crushing it in the 2000s. As the story went, it's been a long time, so and this is all I heard this passively, right? Southwest negotiated a gas deal, a fuel deal, at a higher rate, but a longer guarantee. It was something like they said, we'll give you $80 a barrel for 15 years, which is $10 more. And the oil company was like, that sounds great to us. Then when there was a shortage, they were contractually obligated to give them $80 a barrel when gas jumped to 144. So the oil company was losing, but Southwest was able to keep their prices way down because they paid a premium on top. Here's what ends up happening. Biden bans new oil. Let me tell you what that means simply. So 5 companies go to oil company. Oil company says, I get 5 barrels a year. I'm oversimplifying the numbers. Each oil company says, I'll buy a barrel of oil from you. The oil company is then selling the oil when all of a sudden the news breaks that Biden's banning new oil. These customers run full speed to the oil company and say, are you going to have oil next year? We're looking at 3% growth. I need 1.3 barrels next year. And the oil company says, we're not sure. They just banned offshore exploration, which we were relying on to expand our supply. The companies then say, I'm going to pay you a premium to guarantee my spot. Price goes up. There's not going to be enough oil. So the other companies then start competing and not trying to outbid each other. And what ends up happening? Fuel jumps $3. You're getting $5 a gallon. When Joe Biden shut down Keystone, the markets then reacted saying, supply will not meet demand unless we have fracking and Keystone. And you can cry all day and say, but this is bad for the environment. I don't care. The fact remains that if these businesses, these supermarkets, these food producers want the fuel to grow and ship the food, and you want your cheap gas and your cheeseburgers, this is how it works. When Biden shuts this stuff down, the other companies say, I will pay a premium to guarantee the supply I need for expansion, and then I'm going to pass the cost off onto the customers.
There you go. There we go. And this is why I hate politics, man. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next one.